In the final moments here, we'll see what the counter pick is ultimately going to be. It's going to be the Ambessa, and they get the Annie. So they've now turned this composition into more of a dive and pick-focused comp. And this Lucian, it's great to play that into Lucian because Lucian has to go so far forward to do his damage and to put his pressure on, and that's where you often get caught.
Talon.
Okay,
it can jump over the Cataclysm wall.
Gideon here, if he goes for this pick, it's a lot of burst, but it doesn't give you the setup. I misspoke earlier, by the way. I said casting to have the setup for the solution. I meant to say Gideon, of course, and
Welcome to a whole new world. Your planet is now under mid-ranger's control.
like, okay, that shouldn't have happened, but also felt like it was a bit of an overperformance from Kingen DRX
And it's
on the
happened
day.
again, Wolf, in round 2.
Yeah.
Another 2-0 from Kingen DRX over
It's
Notion.
history repeating itself. The Pike, we've also seen him play double marksman. Very flexible.
Oh, flash on in. Scout in a lot of trouble here. That should be first blood. That easily, Roamer will pick it up.
And Teddy still has flash. He's got no ult for Namgung, so it's going to be tough.
They have heal, they have barrier. I mean, flashing forward from Teddy, though. Very dangerous. Going to take a bunch of damage on the backside of this. Sponge flashes out, and Diable picks up the kill. As Teddy, he wanted to convert that play into something more, and he gets punished. It's here and maybe go for the second dragon. As Gideon is going to go in and tries to go in onto Diable and Pleata. The flash doesn't really do anything, but they are going to get on top of Sponge here, who has to flash himself. Does flag drag away, but now Roamer comes on over, and the aggression is there. No help for Sponge, as a bit of damage does go into Gideon. You know, the Realm Warp's going to feel pretty good. They're going to catch Roamer here.
What if they just dominate the rise?
There's going to be a couple stuns that do go in, but Roamer with the Catalyst is pretty tanky at this point in time, so he's just going to back away from that one as the ult's pretty interesting from King, and he's going to try to flash, but Casting picks up the solo in the top lane.
By the way, in the meanwhile, Teddy is getting like the whole mid turret, and suddenly this lead for the Caitlyn is going to evaporate if there's no answer here.
Flash stun does come in, and Scout kind of just gets a free kill in top lane.
Old lead, briefly, as a result of it. Watch this one more time. Yeah. I guess you want to cleanse the harpoon.
Has felt like he is the one-win condition. But, you know, starting this Herald here, it looks like Bro with the engage cone here from Gideon, but they immediately turn onto the Xin Zhao, who does have the Crescent Guard. Rift Herald kind of in an awkward spot. A lot of low health bars. As the Bard is out of here already, Sponge as well is just going to go in, and that's going to be the end of the Rumble, but immediately trades back on the Sponge. Teddy has to flash away. He's getting low. That's going to be a zoning ult from Pleata. He does get a flash from that, so kind of just pushes them out of the fight.
Bizarre fight there.
We got the...
Feels a little laggy. Just feels dissatisfying. Now this fight is initially set up really well by Gideon here. Unfortunately, Casting's ult is pretty, it's pretty lackluster, as we are not done.
Yeah, it looks like Kingen probably not very long for this world. Doesn't have flash and doesn't have a health bar anymore. Roamer gets up there with the gank. Legends, I guess.
So was it more of a ruck or a scrum?
We'll never know.
Spongy, you're gonna get realm warped on.
Yeah, Diablo's just dead. That came in very late. So Tempered Fate, even if that does come down, he just dies anyway, so it's not Pleata's fault. Sponge in a bit of trouble himself, and now he got a lot of tempo here for the side of Pro as they're going to drop the Rift Herald and continue pushing mid. A little bit of damage himself. So some healing gonna come out from both parties here. Roamer just gonna kind of drop himself in the bush and die as Gideon says, what? I'm gonna go in two, but now I'm alone. We don't have a rise. Is now another great angle for Sponge as he's gonna get Gideon and force the flash there. Now very low. Sponge gonna force this one as he gets the Cataclysm. Goes straight onto the Rumble, and he dies himself as Diable in a bit of trouble, but he's gonna skirt away from that one. And now the Mbessa finally finds some relevance in this game, picks up a huge bundle of gold.
A lot of cooldowns used by Teddy to try to kill Diable there at the end of the fight, but that meant that, yes, Kingen will actually be relevant here, as Rumble in the final moments, they're not. So we will see an attempted escape here from Nangung.
Yeah, he's just gonna die, and they should be able to get this Chemtech Drake.
Both are great options. I think I'd probably prefer Death Dance in this game as Diable.
And Nice Calling is going to come down. We also have the Realm Warp, and again, Bro find a nice angle here. Pleata doing his best to try to keep him alive, but it's not going to work as Diable gets some value in the side lane. Scout's just kind of hanging out in mid and might just die for it. There's the extension on the autos. This doesn't feel like one of those gold leads where it's like, oh, Nongshim have no chance. But this keeps happening, as this time they're going to be able to get that warp to come in, as now Roamer is just pushing forward. It's going to get the flash. Lucian so fast and can do stuff like this. And of course, the Realm Orbs have been very aggressive, and now we got a deep TP behind them once again as they're trying to get Diable to safety here. The equalizer gonna be good. They just flash on top of Pleata, and Scout is basically already dead. And now Kingen not in a great spot himself, trying to make his way to the disengage cone, and will be able to.
The way that Bro could lose the game, though, is messing that up. As
trying to catch Roamer. And the follow-up, not quite there. He's going to go golden. Sponge has to flash away. The equalizer doesn't hit anyone. Sponge trying to be a champion and just dies. And that's not what you want out of your Annie.
He just siege this up.
That's a lot of damage from Teddy.
Wait till Roamer presses Actualizer. You'll see some real damage. Look at his positioning on the rise. He's coming in.
All right, they're just going to press their buttons, go straight forward. That is going to be the GA going down, but they're just trying to brute force the Nexus, and I think they should be able to, as Casting tanks it up, and the Nexus does go down. Bro